Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, where we are still seeing a continuation of this breakout here from this inverse head and shoulders pattern that we have been taking a look at over the last couple of days. So far, we saw breakout, retest, and now the start of a possible resumption from there. And I am still remaining the same posture that I've had ever since we started this breakout here, which is that I am still long-term bullish on Bitcoin. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, we saw a breakout from this ascending triangle pattern, which broke out from about 92.5K and launched us straight up to 100,000 US dollars, perfectly hitting that price target. So after that, we got a bit of a downtrend in the short term. But what I'm already noticing is that, let's say that we just take this full move. This was about a 9% move to the downside, and people are already talking about the bull market being over. Now, so far, we have already retraced most of that move that we had to the downside, and now we're seeing that inverse head and shoulders breakout as well. So as far as I'm concerned, Bitcoin is currently targeting about 103,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price, so long as we do not invalidate this pattern by trading below the point of the breakout. Now, getting off of that lower time frame for a little bit, let's take a look at this 1-day time frame for Bitcoin. So we got that big push to the upside here in November, and then what did we see? After reaching 100K, we retraced this move perfectly, hitting this Fibonacci golden pocket and then bouncing from there. So to me, again, this just looks like pump, retrace a little bit, shake a bunch of people out of the market, people taking profits, etc., and then bouncing from that Fibonacci golden pocket once again. And at this point, you may be wondering, like, well, if all of that is looking bullish, is it like guaranteed we're going to get another leg to the upside here? It doesn't have to be the case, but I'm just showing you the different things that I'm seeing in the charts. And as far as I'm concerned, the only bearish signal that I'm seeing right now is this bearish divergence on the 1-day time frame, which is when you have higher highs in the Bitcoin price and lower highs in the RSI momentum indicator. And typically this points towards a break from all of this bullish price action that we have been seeing here recently. So either in the form of some choppy sideways price action or perhaps even some bearish momentum on that 1-day time frame. However, if you have been watching my videos here over the last couple weeks, you know that not too long ago we saw a bunch of like bearish divergences showing up here over and over again. So my point being is that we first saw a bunch of bearish divergences here before we then got the actual big move to the downside. So just because there is a bearish divergence doesn't mean you need to see a full-on like reversal all the way down to 40K or something like that. The way I'm looking at it right now is like we have a bunch of bullish signals that are flashing, and we have this singular bearish signal. So for now, I'm just keeping this in the back of my mind in the case that we actually start seeing some more reversal signals starting to show up, or perhaps if we invalidate that head and shoulders pattern, then I will start taking this bearish divergence more seriously. But until then, it is just one bearish signal amongst a wide number of bullish signals, right? Next, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, on this 1-week time frame, you can see that right now we have quite a bit of liquidity pretty close to where the Bitcoin price is trading. We have close to $150 million worth of short positions sitting at 98.3K, with right above that at about 99K, we have a massive pocket of liquidity. And I do think that the Bitcoin price will eventually get attracted to this level here. There is also a decent amount of liquidity to the downside on this 1-week time frame, but we have to look for confluence. So if all of the technical analysis on those lower time frames is looking more bullish and we have the biggest pocket of liquidity to the upside, again, then I will first be looking for that to be taken out before even considering a possibility of grabbing this liquidity to the downside. And again, just like I said earlier in this video, if we invalidate those bullish signals, then I will start looking towards this big level of liquidity to the downside, which would be sitting at about 95,000 US dollars. Now, lastly, let's take a look at this Bitcoin CME Gap here. We do have the CME Gap sitting at about 98.4K, and typically over 90% of CME Gaps tend to get filled. So the first time I started talking about this, we were trading at like 96.5K roughly. Currently, we're trading at 97K, and I do think the odds of us coming close to or even fully filling this CME Gap are very high at this point. Either way, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.